all please stand with me for the pledge and for an opening prayer? Thanks.
Father, we just thank you so much for this day. Thank you for opportunity to serve the city of Gluckstadt. We just ask that your presence be with us tonight, God. We ask for your protection over our city, over our law enforcement, over our children, over the schools. Lord, we just thank you. Lord, every decision that we make, Lord, we just bring it before you. And we just pray that every decision brings you glory, you honor, and we praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. First on the agenda, we've got the consideration and approval of minutes from last month. Has everyone had the opportunity to review? And do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move that we approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on new business, we've got the Caterpillar request for conditional use. Do we have a representative from Caterpillar? You want to step? Oh, public hearing, I'm sorry. Opening the public hearing.
I don't know what to say. They just told me to come.
Let me kind of start.
I do have a few questions for Mr. McCollum.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Now that the public hearing is open, Mr. McCollum, if you can you just confirm for me that proper notice of this public hearing tonight was met as being posted in the newspaper?
Yes.
And physical posting on the property?
Yes. Signs out there.
All right, and then if you, Mr. McCollum, you may be better for you just to give a brief overview of the project.
Okay.
Any questions?
Sure. So what we have here is Caterpillar is proposing to build an additional building on the site of the existing Caterpillar building. It's a detached building, and for the type of use that they're proposing, it requires conditional use permit for that in the C2 district. So that's the purpose for the public hearing tonight. We subsequently have, once the public hearing is complete and the board votes in the affirmative, and then we have the site plan consideration after that. So that's basically where we are. I will say that, in looking at this before the meeting, that the landscape plan was not included in the digital copy. I do have the hard copy plan here, and it's in here. It's on L1, and it does meet the requirements of the landscape ordinance, but for whatever reason, it didn't get put in here. But he does have it.
Okay. And everything else is good?
Everything else looks good.
All right. You want to share with us a little bit about your expansion?
Just need more space. Same business, bigger footprint.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to look exactly like what we've got, other than no windows.
Okay. Any questions?
So your existing building is this kind of dark gray one with the windows and the little brick parapet below, or the brick facade? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess my question would be if we could get the little brick on this one too, just so that it would match.
I would rather not, because they're a painting to seal off.
They are.
We fought leaks because of the sheeting action of the metal coming on top of it.
On top of it. I got you.
If it was at the road, I would get more about it, but it's going to be behind the other building. When we bought this lot, we laid this out to where this would sit directly behind. It won't even hardly be visible from.
I got you. So not next to it, but behind it. Okay.
No.
But the use is basically everything's enclosed, and so it's just more of the formality. It is required as a conditional use, and like I say, I would recommend approval of the use part of it.
Okay. So obviously you're in favor of this project. Do we have anyone here in opposition?
Could I just get your name? Scott Hammack, Hammack.
Okay. So can we close the public hearing? All right. Close the public hearing. Do I have a motion to approve or deny the request for conditional use?
I'll move that we approve the conditional use.
Attorney Myers, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll step right into the site plan. So any further questions regarding the site plan now would be an appropriate time.
I'm assuming the metal is gonna be the same color as the existing?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, it's a duplicate.
I don't think we had color renderings was one thing I had down. It may have come in the all, I just didn't see it on ours. And then drainage, so was there any additional drainage needed going from gravel to metal building?
There's no, as far as what's located in the flood map or anything like that, it's all zone X. And so, shouldn't be any issue there now. I didn't require on-site retention because of the existing nature of it all, and just because of the minimal square footage that we're talking about here. I mean, it's, I don't believe just because of the acreage of it, on-site retention would be required.
Okay.
And then you mentioned the landscaping was.
I have those. If you want to take a look at them, I got them here.
I mean, as long as it meets.
It meets our
At least the
criteria.
minimum
Okay.
requirement.
All right. Does anybody else have any further questions?
I just have one thing to clarify. You said it would or would not be on site? Which is, no.
No on-site
I just want
retention.
to make sure I got it right on that.
Right.
Do I have a motion to approve or deny the site plan?
I'll make a motion to approve the site plan.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
So what do I do now?
I would say, let me take a look at your plans one last time tomorrow for code compliance.
Okay.
And Phil, come in and see Bridget about getting an
I'm not in a
application.
hurry, but I'd like to do dirt work before winter gets.
Okay. See Bridget about building for an application.
Okay.
I'll let you know. I see if anything in there.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. I'll get it.
All right. Next up, we've got
All right. Thanks.
the VS Properties Enterprise Drive
I will.
site plan consideration.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
fine. Everybody knows I'm Daniel Woolridge, I'm the architect. Barry Sullivan, the owner, who with us tonight. And we're looking to build a 20,000 square foot building. I did bring copies of the color rendering. I think I got 6 of them, I'm sorry. We're looking at I guess what you call a flex space. It's an open warehouse space that would be divided up as you leased it. Each unit could have its own overhead door and its own entry into the space. And it is on Enterprise Drive. If you're familiar with is it Sunbelt Lighting, I think? Sunbelt Lighting, that's it that you see to the right on the north side right there, about where the little hand is. On the south side is used to be the station, had that restaurant in it, and it's that metal building. I brought pictures of those also, so y'all can see what the surroundings look like and understand what we're dealing with on that. It's a very simple building, a pre-engineered metal building structure, open span on the interior, which is Sunbelt lighting, kind of standing on the site itself, looking at it. On our west side, we do have residential. So we do have a 50-foot buffer that's required, but that is site that is full of mature trees. And we're not gonna be touching those because, again, they're on that 50-foot bumper and you can't see the residential. And they won't be able to see us. So it makes a great buffer. So we will not disturb that area.
Are you planning to tear out all this existing concrete?
All that existing concrete's coming out.
You said the trees are gonna remain the same? Like
The trees
are
on
there?
the trees on the west boundary separating us from residential is gonna stay.
Perfect.
We do have a retention pond on the side. We do have our landscaping. I should have copies of that already. We meet all the requirements for our zoning. We're asking for approval.
So you don't know specific uses yet? It'll just
We don't know the specific uses yet. Not exactly. They can range from anything.
Right.
And it's in a kind of an industrial area.
Mhm.
All the buildings around it are industrial uses.
Right.
There's a body shop just down the street from it.
Right.
So we're looking probably, that type of people coming in.
Okay. So as far as parking, did you just go with kind of the most conservative option or what?
We did.
You did, okay. I mean, I hate to put a bunch of extra parking if they're not gonna need it. I guess that's my,
We have nowhere else to put extra parking, but we just filled everything up.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, if it ends up being a more industrial use, you'll probably have more parking than you need, right? Would be my guess.
Yes.
Um,
Fill that with it.
Use that 225.
We use the
Yeah, that's
225
general business. Like if you have a restaurant, you was gonna put a restaurant in the whole thing, then
They may not have enough.
Yeah.
wouldn't have enough.
Right.
But, if you put a restaurant in there and the occupant load is below, I think it's below 15 or something like that, then it's considered general business anyway.
Right.
So it depends on how they divide it up. It's really hard to
Predict, yeah.
Yeah.
And did I hear correct, so the front will be brick, will the rest of the building be brick?
Three
as well?
sides will be brick, the east, the south, and the west.
Okay.
Will be brick. The rear of the building will be a metal siding, the rear of the building. It faces Sunbelt line.
Okay.
And also faces toward Allied Body Shop.
Is that
I
like
have this photo, which shows, you can't even see Gluckstadt Road from where we're at. It's not visible from
Is
anywhere.
that to like allow like mixed use where they're, no one's
Yeah.
sure, okay.
And that is the rear of our building. So the side is facing the street, brick, which is the elevation y'all have in color. The side facing south, which is our main entries to everybody, they're all brick. And then the side faces the residential, brick.
Great, okay.
Anyone else have any further questions?
Are there other limestone parking spaces or parking lots in that area? Is that something
Well,
that's previously approved?
There is. And we show out front, everything's concrete. In the very back, we do have some limestone pavement out in the back. But in the neighborhood, there are some limestone areas.
I hate to bring this up now, but our landscaping ordinance does not allow for, limestone parking lots. That landscape ordinance has been in effect probably for maybe a couple of years. But there is provision in there for variance. They changed it, as a matter of fact, did they not, Zach, about allowing for variance if y'all want to grant one, you can. I mean, it looks like he's got a reasonable number of spaces there, for a general business, but at the same time, the ordinance prohibits that unless y'all choose to give them a variance on those parking spaces.
Is there any reason other than cost to go with the lime, they wanted to go with limestone, or any plans to use it as like storage or lay down or anything like that?
Well, again, that's all going to depend on who we end up as tenants, if we need lay down area in the back area, but, cost is part of it.
One benefit of going, requiring or having them remove the limestone is things like dust getting back towards those homes behind there. It's just one thing that comes to mind as a benefit of
Well, there's
getting rid of it.
again, there's 50 feet of the
Right, you got the buffer.
mature vegetation, but there's also a fence on the property
Behind the tree.
behind the trees.
Yeah, just a residential.
Yeah, it's a residential fence. Yeah, they're fence.
There's limestone in the parking lot next to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would require a condition or it's not even a dimensional variance, it's like a.
It's a,
Textural landscape variance.
the term variance is, I wouldn't consider that to be the correct term because it's not more of a dimensional variance. It's more of
Allowance maybe.
an allowance to not meet the standards of the landscape ordinance. However, I believe the amended landscape ordinance does contain provision that it's intended to be for a temporary basis, not to be permanent, but it was fairly new, so I don't know, but I think it's more so intended to be for a temporary duration and not to be indefinite amount of time.
So would that require like a public hearing for that type of thing, or is it just a
No, it
finding of within the minutes?
Doesn't require a public hearing. It would just be, if that was the recommendation of this board, then we would pass that along to the mayor and board and we would put together. Normally a site plan approval doesn't require any kind of order or anything like that. However, if you were to recommend this type of variance, or this type of not binding landscape ordinance, we will provide an order to the mayor and board at that time.
Would this be like grandfather in eventually, or just for this particular company?
No, so any new business that comes in, since the landscape ordinance has been in effect, does have to meet the new standards of the landscape ordinance. If there was a business that was already in existence that has a gravel or limestone parking lot, prior to the landscape ordinance, then that one would be grandfathered in until they made, some type of substantial alterations to their existing building.
My client has a business who makes terrazzo flooring. You're probably familiar with that type flooring. He will be taking the west end of the building. So I was just talking to him. He's going to have some trucks and equipment parked out there. You also have on our drawing, you see there's also the opportunity for him to drive in on that end also. So his business will be working out of that west end.
More like a lay down yard with trailers and things like that parked on the back side of it. But if somebody comes along and wants to rent the space before we've moved in, then we might not move in there. But right now the plans are for us to take the rear of the building and then that would be a lay down yard for our trailers and trucks.
For C2, does that need a conditional use to do exterior storage? Like that?
You can't have exterior storage, but you can have exterior equipment. In other words, it'd be like, cooking ranch or something like that. They're the same zoning where you have equipment outside, but you don't necessarily conduct your business outside.
Okay. If it's not on display.
Yeah, it's like a 16-foot trailers, covered trailers that are nice looking.
I'll make the motion that we approve the site plan with the amendment that they go with concrete on full parking lot. medium duty plus heavy duty for the dumpster.
Do I have a second? I'll second.
Is that feasible? Is that something you would?
It just gets cost prohibitive, you know,
Yeah.
compared to other buildings that have recently sold there, that are all metal siding and gravel parking lots. Trying to put this really nice building up next to all these other buildings that, I mean, really, if you go through the entire industrial park, there's nothing else that looks this great,
Right.
you know, that's in here, so it's kind of like.
Which I think is what's kind of, Gluckstadt is kind of moving towards, we want to kind of move to like the nicer building, so we appreciate you making it look nicer than what's out there. So we
Absolutely.
absolutely appreciate that, but, I mean, we gotta start somewhere, you know. And things like that, so it does look good, I love it, it's great, it looks good.
I mean, to answer your question about the landscape ordinance that was, the amendment to the landscape ordinance that was adopted, I just pulled it up just so I could make sure that I was correct. It says any person, form, or corporation may seek temporary relief from the requirements of this ordinance from the mayor and board of aldermen in cases where good cause for such temporary relief can be shown. Upon showing a good cause, the mayor and board of aldermen may grant temporary relief from one or more provisions of this ordinance. After a hearing, the mayor and board of aldermen may impose reasonable conditions upon granting relief and shall specify a definite duration not to exceed 12 months unless extended by further action after a subsequent hearing.
So with that recommendation, the board could grant. Okay. We have a motion and a second. So vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. So with that, I'm of the understanding that they could go before the board
We can ask the mayor and board
and
to
to,
do it for temporary purpose.
our recommendation is just the concrete.
Or just the matching the ordinance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we've got Titan Properties for Titan Lane.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Y'all ready to go? Fire away. What y'all have for me?
If you would just kind of explain to them exactly kind of what you're doing.
Sure. All right, so we're right behind Puckett on, you'll see right there. So we're on the south end. Titan Lane, if you're not familiar yet, is really an unnamed street that's about to be dedicated to the city. So you have Puckett, which is now says Camper Corral on it. You've got Blurton Holdings there in the northwest corner. So it's 3.29 acres. We back up to it there on Lone Wolf Lot 5 and below. Yep, right there. And so this is just a flex space construction type drive-through bay warehouse, your local contractor type guy. We are a construction company, so we can relate to the needs of that, and that's what we're trying to build here. So it matches everybody around us, literally everybody around us. So it'd be a stand-up metal building, red iron, storefront glazing on the front, nice, do some nice awnings over top of that, brick veneer on the front, painted. We're looking at maybe more of a medium gray than the kind of the white with black that's everywhere, trying to change it up just a little bit, but something similar to that. Bay doors on the rear, personnel doors on the rear. Yeah.
So is this one, you said 3 acres?
3.29.
That's the whole parcel, but this is just developed.
Just a portion. This is just the east side of the property for now.
You have plans for the rest of it?
We're not sure yet. I mean, it'd be based off what we can do with this. To see very similar to them. Somebody going to come in and take all 6,000 foot? Do they want a 1,500 square foot bay? What's the need? Obviously, hopefully it'll dictate to a bigger type facility down the road, but really we're just not sure. Market demand is going to be the telltale of what we continue to do with it. So it's kind of, unfortunately, it's kind of the wastelands over there. So, we'll see. Hopefully we can get some movement on it and get some tenants. Otherwise, Y'all can buy it real cheap.
As far as like subdividing the parcel or splitting it, like once, I guess if you come in and build 3 or 4 of these, is the plan to keep them all in one parcel or to split them out?
We may split it out, depends. I think we're still looking at the final plat. Once that gets turned in from the other, owners,
Okay.
we'll have some consideration of that, but, regardless, we would keep some kind of easement above us and, Blurton's that we're building right now, right below, Puckett Rent. So lot in, either break it out, whatever we need to do, or, just continue on as one development. So we'll see how it goes, what the demand is. We don't want to build something and.
Right. I can understand that. Mike, as far as like, are there rules about like if you take one parcel and you slowly develop versus doing a full design?
It's a meets and bounds type development, the way they're doing it. It's, the subdivision regulations have changed a little bit since the last time I was here.
Yeah.
And so you formerly, any development that was less than 2 acres, you were required to subdivide. Well, that's been taken out. So now that subdivision requirement is not really there as much.
Okay.
So
they're not required to do a full development.
I don't know, Chris, you may know a little bit more about how the language reads in that you're kind of.
What we intend, if they were to sell off the rest of it, say, they want to split in 3 parcels, what they would do is amend their plat to show that's lot, what's 5?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, lot 5, so it'd be lot 5A, B, and C. We just parcel it out like that, just to keep up with the developments, keep up with the lot lines and that sort of stuff. But if they keep it for their own use, there's no need to.
They can keep rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they stay as owners.
Did I hear you correctly? There's no break. It's a metal building. What's the front? Okay.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Brick
Brick
side.
side?
Mhm. Yeah, we're gonna paint it, do, medium gray, something that just works. Color wise, I'll let the designer.
So this lot is in the floodplain, correct?
Correct.
So you've got flood elevation you plan to build up to.
Unfortunately.
I think it's pretty high too.
It is.
You have to build a big.
8 foot 6 inches.
Yeah, okay. So plan to just grade basically most of that area up.
Just like Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, really go down Lone Wolf, same thing, just make it look good. Finish, stem walls probably all the way down. Grade up where we need to, access. Just try to make it appear that it's not a mountain.
Yeah,
sitting
not
out
up
there,
on that hill, yeah.
some nice general slope working back up.
And this is are we running into the same issue here? This is a gravel lot, for C2.
It's the same requirement.
Same requirement, yeah.
Well, being that Puckett's our neighbor, I believe Mike was using that as an example.
All right.
It's all gravel. I mean, everybody's gravel. Lone Wolf, yeah. I mean, Titan, the old development, Titan development that's been there for however long. Puckett, Blurton, it's all.
Now, if he's got the minimum number of required spaces, if he's gonna pave those, then he doesn't need to pave anything else. So
And the parking will be concrete.
That's what you're saying.
Concrete driveway, concrete parking, but it's meant for a contractor in essence. I mean, it's lay down yard.
So
It's just
lay
like
down
my
yard's
building.
okay. He just needs the minimum required spaces paved.
So what's the minimum required spaces, I guess?
2 spots per 400 square foot, and we've got less than that on all 4, unless there's a change.
It's really 1 space for every 225, so it's really.
225, excuse me.
Yeah, slightly less. Okay, is there something somewhere on there? It shows all gravel on the drawings we got. I
It
didn't see
should
one.
show.
Concrete, yeah, it says gravel on there, I believe.
It should show gravel for the parking spaces.
Well, I think that's the issue we're running into is that our ordinance calls for all concrete lots now. You can't do gravel. Now you can do gravel for the laydown as long as you meet the minimum spaces.
Yeah, so this would be gravel, the parking spots. This entrance and these parking spots. So if it's
Would it be gravel or would it be concrete?
gravel, concrete, concrete entrance.
That'd be good, if you're willing to do that.
Yeah, so I mean, it'd be mimicking Lone Wolf in essence. But with more concrete, I take that back.
Concrete spaces.
Concrete on.
Concrete from the
parking
road
spaces.
to the building, basically.
Okay.
Concrete parking spaces, concrete entrance. There would be some
Gravel in between.
There'd still be gravel, yeah.
Technically speaking, he's
Just that-
probably okay.
I don't know if that meets the spirit of the rule, but, okay.
From a materials and color standpoint, if we were to make a recommendation tonight, can we include in our recommendation for the colors and materials to come back through?
Come back to you all, or just have those present for the mayor board? But yes, either way.
There's kind of a gray area in the ARB at the moment.
Working on that. I mean, if the recommendation was to bring back any kind of color renderings to this board, that would, in essence, delay, I mean, the project moving forward to the mayor board, but, if you put in the recommendation that he needs to provide color renderings, for the mayor board review.
What about for the architectural review?
I thought we sent y'all a visual copy.
Yeah, we've got one color of the front and the side, color rendering.
I thought that was a requirement.
Actual colors. Like paint color.
I don't think he listed the specific, like a Sherwin-Williams 3924. A light gray with a dark, be it a black or a darker gray. Similar to Lone Wolf, similar to Puckett. We just didn't want to do white and black, just something a little, I guess, I don't know. A little bit different in color, but something very neutral.
As far as bringing it back here,
Or through the augment, yeah. Not the way you're right. Okay.
how do y'all feel about gravel in between the road and the parking?
I'm okay with it.
With it being in this area? I'm trying to see what all these other ones have. Some, it goes all over the place.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Some have all gravel, some have mixed.
Precedent.
Well, I'd say the Blurton's that's under construction now.
We were not allowed gray chain link. We were not allowed.
The Blurton's that y'all approved, I don't know how long ago, be extremely similar to theirs. Which is our immediate neighbor right there, besides the fact that Puckett's right there with the exact.
It's just a driveway, like going up to a concrete parking lot.
That's it.
And I mean, I think it looks okay. I mean, that's just me. Y'all do what you want.
So Blurton has concrete from the road to the parking though, right?
He does.
Yeah.
A concrete driveway.
Concrete drive. I think that's what I was thinking was just if we can get concrete from the road to the parking and not have gravel in between, I would feel better.
Well, you'll have gravel in between where the parking lot is now and the road. But he's gonna have a driveway going up to the concrete drive, going up to the concrete parking lot, but it's gonna be gravel
On the
between.
sides. We don't have a drawing of concrete anywhere on ours, so it's hard to kind of picture what exactly they're asking for
all our stuff says gravel,
Yeah.
other than the concrete on the road.
Well, I'd recommend that you make your motion
Yeah,
and what you want,
Based on that.
bring it to the board. And he, in between time, he can bring more evidence. That's what he's gonna do.
Some clarification.
Hmm.
All right. Would someone like to make a motion?
I mean, I will, I just don't, I want to make all the motions.
Motion
I was
on.
wondering, so we're gonna move forward with all renditions being taken to the board, correct? From the standpoint of the colors, and then the standpoint of the drop of the concrete and gravel.
Yeah, bring the physical, samples
Yeah.
of the colors and materials, and then require, concrete from the road to the parking area, so you're not having to drive on the
Will you just
gravel.
make the motion?
And we can talk it out and then, that's fine.
I move that we move forward with the Titan Properties Flex, properties type on Titan Lane with the following recommendations coming to the Board of Aldermen. Number one, paint samples. And then number two, renditions of the gravel and concrete driveway and road. Is that correct? Clarified. It's clarified.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any new business?
I guess, we could talk a little bit about architectural review. And y'all may have already spoken to some of the aldermen about it, but right now they're reviewing, an ordinance to establish the architectural review board. We've already had some appointees already, as some of you know. But, this will require a separate meeting by the architectural review board apart from this board. And, that's what's being proposed in the new ordinance. And it'll be a paid board. I think, Zach's got the pay listed in there. And, they'll set their own meeting time. They won't have, legal representation at every meeting, is what I understand. But the minutes will be kept by, zoning administrator, maybe Bridget over there, she might keep the minutes, but it'll be a recommendation on architectural, standards and styles. And that's the other job that they're gonna have, is to set standards. We've got a set of standards now. And I don't know that it's the standard that, represents what the people of Gluckstadt want.
Sure.
So Zach's got his idea of what they all look like. I got my idea, but
I don't make the policy decisions.
we don't
I
make the
just-
policy
They
decisions.
told me to draft something, so I took my best crack at it, and that's what we got.
So, if the board decides to pass this ordinance, I'll initiate the first meeting. And then they can pick their chairman and they can do it however they want. I think it's 3 to 7 members that can be appointed. But right now we have 3. So, if the board chooses, they can add more members up to 7.
And so is the plan, I guess, flow wise for all site plans to go to them before they come to us? For comment or approval? Or-
I don't know. We'll ask them and get their comment. And we'll talk to y'all too, because site plan approval still has to come before y'all.
Right.
But y'all may have to just look at it maybe slightly different. Architecture review is gonna be looking at those standards.
Right.
Y'all be looking at the zoning of the property, whether it's the use is correct and proper. And y'all will also, anybody that wants to challenge the interpretation of the zoning administrator can come here. And y'all can override whatever interpretation is made.
I think that's good. When I was in Clinton on the architectural review and historic preservation, they met before planning and zoning. And their recommendation would go to planning and zoning would go to the board. So,
Yeah, it's another step, in Ridgeland, we had the same thing. We had architecture review board that met separately. And it extends the review time, you know, on a project, you know, it may extend it a month, you know, somebody has to miss a step. So,
So that's what I was getting ready to ask, does their project or their information have to be in a certain now time frame before the date that it's
Well,
to have it?
right now, everything for the planning and zoning board has to be turned in by the first of the month.
Right.
And so, they turn it in, and it's usually a back and forth between me and them on trying to get stuff turned in where it's presentable. And, sometimes they wait till the last minute, and when they do, it's hard for me to get it out to y'all on time. Probably what the rule needs to be is everything needs to be correct when you turn it in on the first, and if it's not there, you go to the next month.
But I would say you.
But then that delays another month, you know, if you do that.
So those members are appointed by alderman and mayor,
Yes,
and is that a formal process, or they just?
yes.
The reason that it's just a little different than this one is because there's already been 3 people that I believe the mayor and board have approved to be on said board. But in anticipation that at some point in the future, it is the size of this board and has its own, you know, has another meeting separate, instead of having to go back and amend the ordinance later, I just went ahead and said, shall be no less than 3, no more than 7, same appointed, same mechanism of appointment, but just right now.
It'd be nice to get some of that stuff smoothed over before it gets to us. It'll make, I think.
Well, I think it will maybe shorten the meeting a little bit, and hopefully the standards will help clear up some of the ambiguity.
That's what I was gonna say. Hopefully that meeting will not be a delay if we've got nice, clear standards that everybody knows.
You know, if nobody wants metal siding on any building anywhere, you know, we need to say it. If they want to allow, metal buildings in industrial areas like we were talking about tonight, then.
Yeah, it's a little hard when like we have industrial areas in C2 and then we got like really nice high-end areas also zoned in C2. So you can't really use like the zoning
It's hard.
as a dividing line unless we go in and rezone a bunch of stuff to make it a little more clear.
So hopefully we'll get a good decent set of standards, but that board recommendation will go directly to the mayor and board. It won't come to y'all.
So
So we wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see the architect, you wouldn't need to see the architectural standard, the architectural piece of it. You know, the building elevations and that sort of
Strictly
thing.
the zoning.
Right. You're just looking at the zoning, the use, and so, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be 2 separate and distinct roles, you know, one looks for just architectural design standards and this board.
So-
Parking spaces, zoning requirements, and then.
Number of spaces and that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
So would that mean there's a situation where they would like recommend a denial and we would recommend approval and we would get?
Well, they could recommend denial of the architectural part of it. Y'all could recommend approval of
the site, yeah.
the site plan, and then the board would make a decision.
Yeah, it still takes both, you know, but they would be advisory just like you all are, so it would still go to the main board, but
So it's not like it won't come to us if they deny it, but they're gonna be 2 separate.
It'll come to you regardless.
Okay.
Site plans has to come to this board.
Cause then they could approve it and then, let's say they need to make the changes, they are being recommended, but it's zoned correctly, enough parking spots, landscaping is good.
Right.
We just need to address these architectural
Yeah,
items.
let's,
Okay, yeah.
Is there timing associated with when they're gonna take over that part of it versus the blended version of this meeting?
And, well, there's no timeline set, but they're considering the ordinances next meeting.
that would be the $1 million.
So,
Yeah,
If it's approved.
so for some point, I mean, the next meeting, we can expect to probably still do the blended approval on this
Right.
during this meeting.
yeah, I mean, the board's basically looking at 2 draft ordinances. One is the architecture, it's establishment of the architecture review board, and the other one is the food truck ordinance. So those are 2 ordinances they're looking at. Right now, the food trucks have to meet the requirements in section 805 of the zoning regulations, which require conditional use.
So they're pulling that out and making it a whole separate.
Yeah,
ordinance
I mean, if they, well, I don't know.
That's
We'll
what's
see.
That's what's on the table. at least.
But right now, they're looking at a tightening down on food trucks a little bit, so. And going forward, it's kind of more like new business, but we do have one rezoning coming up. It's on some property on the north end of town on County Station Parkway. The owners think that there was an error or something on the map, when it was transferred from the county to over to here. And it didn't get picked up, but that'll be up to them to prove. Yeah.
Well, our ordinance is totally new, right? It doesn't matter what the county had it.
If there was a mistake made now, that they might have an argument. That's one of the criteria for rezoning, if a mistake.
Some nuances to it.
If we have wording that said like we are approving ordinances, or we are carrying the same zoning over, and then it wasn't carried over, I guess that.
We've got to be careful discussing it in too much detail because it will have to be a public hearing, but there are some nuances of previous rezoning that was before the county and when the city was before the city was incorporated, that there may have been a mistake, but that's for them to address with you all, but that will be coming out.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, sounds like it. You go, please.
But other than that, as far as, the planning and zoning department goes, as most of y'all know, I'm here kind of on a temporary basis filling in, and we do have a new guy coming in, Christopher Hall. He's going to be the building, Christian Hall is going to be the building official, and we're interviewing a couple of people for the P&Z job. So, I'm gonna have to stick around for a little while just for training purposes, I guess, to try to get him up and going. But it's hard to find people with special jobs, a skill set like that for the salary that we're offering. It's kind of a job that doesn't really pay enough to hire an engineer or an architect for. But
How are we in comparison to the nearby cities in pay? Are we below?
We're right in there. We might be just a little low, but not bad.
For a city our size.
For a city our size, I think the salaries should be fairly competitive. You're not going to get anybody with an urban planning degree to come in here and be the planning and zoning administrator. You're not going to get anybody who's a certified building official or code professional to come in and do your building. I mean, it's just, but we can get somebody close, and we get somebody who can do a good job for us.
Speaking of planning, where do we stand on
Comprehensive
our comprehensive plan?
There, I believe we're waiting for the results of the annex before we continue any more with that.
The results of the what?
The annex
So that was appealed, is that right?
has appealed, it's waiting on the Supreme Court.
I guess when the appeal's over,
We have a briefing scheduled now, so our briefing is November 17th, and they would have 40 days after that. I mean, give or take, you get kind of a built-in, not really built-in, but they're typically not denied, much for extensions of time. So hypothetically, ours can be due November 17th. We could ask for 30 more days, then 20, then 10 more. So you're looking at 2026 sometime before. And then got to set up a rural market as well, probably. So probably middle of 2026.
y'all got any questions of me? Glad to be back and work with y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you stepping in.
All right. Okay, so our next meeting is scheduled for November the, help me out.
This gonna be Thanksgiving.
Is it?
23rd, is
20,
that right?
It'll be 25th.
25th, okay.
So this Thanksgiving.
Doesn't even know conflicts at the moment.
Can we get a quorum is the question. Anybody gonna be out of town?
So everyone else is on
That's
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving week, right?
Thanksgiving week.
I may be, via phone, I'll let you know.
I'll be local. All right, next meeting, November 25th. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion carried. We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Well, so far,